Hey, how's everyone doing? So in this video, I would like to kind of show around inside 2021 Toyota Highlander. This is a platinum trim. I did do exterior walk around video I don't know, a couple of weeks ago probably. And in this video, I'd like to show inside our Toyota Highlander and also give my honest opinion about this vehicle and what I think about it. So let's begin. Let's start the engine. So to start the engine, here's the push button start. You obviously got to step on the brake and fire it up. And here's how it looks when you fire up the engine. And that right there is a head-up display. And here's instrument cluster. And here is what's Toyota's current biggest infotainment screen that it offers. This is, I believe, 12.3 inches, so it's a pretty decent size infotainment screen. I did add a screen protector on this just because well, first off, there's always a glare actually with Toyota infotainment systems. Like, it's not just this Highlander, but it's also on my Toyota Tacoma as well. It's too glossy, in my opinion, honestly. That's why, well, that's the first thing, first reason why I put this the screen protector. And the next one is because it's so glossy and it's so big. I don't want to, accidentally kind of like, scratch it up or whatever. That's why, I mean, that was like second reason why, we decided to put a screen protector. And as you can see, it's almost unnoticeable. I mean, really, it's really hard to tell if you actually had a screen protector, and unless you really actually look at these like the edges here. Other than that, it's really actually good to have it, in my opinion. And obviously, like I said, because it's so glossy, as you can see, dust really builds up here easily. And I washed the vehicle about a week ago. I mean, I don't wash it every day, but even then, it's just because it's so kind of like shiny around here, like a piano black or whatever, so it's really noticeable. And that one in the middle screen is actually digital, so I believe that's around like 7 or 8 inches or whatnot. And the gauges are actually analog, both tachometer and speedometer, which is good actually. I much prefer this kind of setup than full digital. I much rather have these, most important actually gauges and to be like a traditional analog than actually digital. However, that middle one is actually really does have a lot of information in it. So in case if you want to go through your options, so that can be a whole lot, separate video on its own, just because it offers so many options and features in this instrument cluster that it can be a whole nother like easily 15-20 minute video on its own just to kind of go through all of these features. And I usually like to keep it in this setting for my home screen. That way I know how much fuel I have, what's my efficiency at the moment in real time, and yeah, that's basically it. And also it does provide that digital speedometer. And there's our head-up display right there. That also provides, for instance, it can tell you whether you're on the center of the lane, or you kind of swerving to the side, either side. So it shows you like a lane trace or whatnot. Lane keep assist. And that one right there underneath is a digital tachometer. So whenever you kind of stepping on the gas, it shows you what's your current RPM. And then one on top is your speedometer. And I believe you can adjust it, like, well, when I say adjust it, first off, you can actually bring it up or bring it down. I think that's not all the way up high. I like to keep it kind of like a little low on the low side, so that way it won't be kind of like, my eyesight constantly. But at the same time, if you want, you can either, I believe you can even lower a little further down. And I believe you can add a couple more items in there as well for your if you want to kind of get like more information on that head-up display. But other than that, this is the interior, center stack. It does have a whole bunch of physical buttons as well underneath, so which is good. Not everything is just on your screen. However, you can also control on your screen as well. And in the middle, you do have USB chargers, your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connection right there. So you do have actually driving modes. You do have sport, normal, eco. I tend to shift between normal and eco. When you put it in sport, throttle becomes actually very sensitive. So and this is obviously not a sports car. So I mean, I don't really need it to be that responsive. I mean, normal is just fine. And when there's no traffic or if it's not a rush hour time, I usually tend to keep it in the eco. But normal actually does provide enough throttle response. Let's say if you're in a traffic situation where you need to, kind of switch lanes quickly and whatnot, the normal actually setting does provide enough throttle response. And you do also have some off-roading features in here, like the rock and dirt and mud and sand. Then again, it's not a true off-roader, so we never actually used these features yet. And honestly, I'm not really even actually intending to take it off-road, just because it's it's pretty much a premium vehicle. It's the top trim, and I'm not planning on actually damaging something accidentally by just trying to take it off-road. The vehicle that's not really actually intended to be taken off-road. So anyway, but these are good features to have just in case. And there's nothing mechanical with these options, so don't be thinking that having these features means that this vehicle can be taken off-road. No, these are all electronic stuff. So basically what it does is that it actually plays with your sensors, your differential, like a center lock or whatnot. That way it gives more traction, kind of shifts traction back and forth from your front and the rear axle. So it's all electronic. There's nothing mechanical. There's no mechanical transfer case or anything like that you would normally have on a 4x4 vehicle. So like I said, it's not really meant to be taken off-road. However, having these features can come handy, let's say in snowy situations, or if you decide to take it to like a beach or whatnot, or take it out to trails. And if for some reason if you start losing traction, you can mess with these. And I'm pretty sure this will help you out to get out of those situations. And you do have a couple of other features in here as well. Your electronic parking, hold option here. Let's say if you're in a traffic light, or if you're in a bumper to bumper traffic and your leg gets tired of actually keep depressing the brake pedal, you can just put it on hold and it will hold it for you. So that way you don't have to keep your leg on a brake pedal. And then your traction, your snow feature, like you can press on this let's say if you're in a snowy regions and whatnot, and if there's a lot of snow, you can press on this and it will actually shift to snow mode and help you out with traction. Hill descent and auto start and off feature. So yeah, and this is basically it for center. Here's the back. This being platinum trim, it does not have bench seating for second row. These are all, they all come in as a captain, chairs for the second row. And there's the center cup holder, and then third row seating back there. And it does have panoramic sunroof. Let me open it up. To open it, you just gotta press this button. And here's a panoramic roof. It's pretty decent size, actually. It goes all the way back at the second row. It does not stretch all the way to third row. However, it does stretch all the way back to back of the second row basically. So, and it does provide plenty of sunlight for cabin. And now, about my I guess like a gripes or whatever you call it for this Highlander. Because we came from 2017 Toyota Highlander, was a platinum trim as well, and it was hybrid. So first off, this is a gas engine. We didn't want to go with hybrid just because we don't live in a heavily congested city areas. Um, we do get occasional, rush hour traffic and whatnot, but for the most part, we still, can travel like 45 to 50 miles an hour in our regular driving. So, and in that kind of speed, you're not really utilizing a hybrid, system. So it didn't really make sense for us to go for a hybrid this time around. Plus, what I didn't like about a hybrid system is that on a highway driving, let's say if you're on an interstate, it gets really loud. I mean, because it uses CVT plus engine, as program tend to save more on fuel, be on more on the eco side to save more fuel or whatnot. So, and when you travel on the highway speeds, it keeps shifting gears, trying to kind of keep it on the down low side, so you're not revving your engine too much, this and all. And it just it just wasn't pleasant driving experience on highway driving, especially on the interstate. So that's why I was like, nah, I mean, it's probably better if you just go back to traditional gasoline gas system, and then just get this one instead of a hybrid. But other than that, comparing this to a third generation Highlander 2017 one, particularly the one we had, there are a few things that kind of I wish we had those features on this one as well. So the first one being the tie extension. This Highlander does not offer that. I don't know why Toyota decided to ditch it. If anything, when you redesigning a new model or whatever, I kind of believe that manufacturers should keep the features that actually make sense, makes your driving experience more pleasant, more positive. And I don't know why, but Toyota this time around decided to actually ditch this tie extension feature that it offered in the previous generation Highlander. And that actually, I really use it a lot. I mean, I do have kind of long legs, so my legs actually, kind of stick out from a lower portion of the seat quite decently. And I was using a lot those actually that tie extension feature on our old Highlander. I use it a lot, especially in long trips, long driving trips. And since this one doesn't have it, I mean, my legs kind of get tired after a little while. So that's one thing. The next one would be this cup holder right there. This is a big no-go, especially if you have kids. I mean, yes, you can fold, kind of fold it or slide the seats for second row if you want to, kind of open some access for third row for your kids or whatnot. However, when you do have car seats like this, and sliding those seats, it's just cumbersome. I mean, it makes your life even more harder. So we normally utilize this pass through here in the middle, and having this stationary static cup holder right here is a huge no-go. My kids hate it, really. I don't know why Toyota did this. This is a big, no-go in our situation. And then the next one would be the back hatch. It doesn't open. I'm pretty sure you guys already know about that. Because that rear actually mirror right there, window, it doesn't pop anymore. Like on the previous Highlanders, you could pop it up, and then you could kind of have a quick access to your trunk area. However, on this generation, with this generation Highlander, it does not offer that. So that's another downgrade. Now, the next thing would be the shelf. Yeah, I mean, it may look better this way, design-wise. That kind of, there's one shelf up there, and then there's another one. However, I kind of missed the old way, where it was like a big horizontal shelf, like a one unit instead of splitting them in two. So, I mean, some people may like it, but I personally don't really like it much. I kind of wish, I kind of missed the old way. having those, having that kind of one long shelf instead of having two split ones. Another thing, so this is a new setup for Toyota, I guess. This is the way how they're going now these days for when it comes to cruise control. So this is a new setup. If you guys been around Toyota vehicles for a while, you guys already probably know by now that the Toyota used to have like a small stock kind of sticking out here right underneath this 3 o'clock actually piece right here on the steering wheel, where you could actually disengage your cruise control. Yeah, it's old school, I get it. I mean, Toyota been using that same setup for like decades, and some people complain that it was kind of like old school. They need to kind of switch around and do something different. Toyota went with this setup now, and as a person who's been driving Toyota vehicles for a long time, I was so used to that kind of traditional the stock, the cruise control stock. And it's been a few months since we owned this Highlander, and I still cannot get used to this. It's just every time when I try to set up my cruise control, I have to take my eyes off the road and look at here to know what I'm pressing. Because even though I've been using it quite for some time now, and almost every time when I drive this vehicle, by the way, this is my wife's vehicle, but we do drive this vehicle quite often, like especially on the weekends. And every time when I drive this, I still cannot get used to this. So I still have to take my eyes off the road to look at what I'm pressing. Otherwise, I cannot actually naturally kind of engage it. Whereas with the old school one, like with the traditional stock in here, it was much easier. I don't have to take off my eyes from the road. I could just kind of it was like a second nature. I mean, my muscle memory on this one was much easier. I mean, I already knew what I'm doing and what I had to do to actually set it or disengage my cruise control. Yeah, these are my gripes for this generation Highlander. For some people, these things might be minor. For some people, they might be even irrelevant or whatnot. But it's just my personal experience with this vehicle so far. And this is what I think about this vehicle after owning it for a few months now. So, but other than that, for the most part, hands down, it's got a lot of features, a lot of new tech, which I personally really appreciate a lot. And they really provide a pleasant driving experience, positive feel, and actually makes you feel like you're driving a more premium vehicle than it actually is. Because I mean, after all, it's still Toyota, it's still a mainstream brand, but however, it still with this new one, it actually provides a lot more features that you normally expect from more premium brands than a mainstream brand. But for the most part, this is it. This is what I got for now. I hope you guys found this video to be somewhat interesting and somewhat helpful. And if you did, please support us by actually giving a thumbs up and considering subscribing to our channel. I will try to make more videos like this in future to provide more detailed information and reviews and whatnot. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to share them in the comment section below. And yeah, continue following my channel, and I hope to catch you guys in future with other videos. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day. Bye.